Truckers aren't just moving goods. They're making sure bakers get their chocolate chips and hotels get their tiny soaps. But truckers can't do this if they're not on the road. That's why Progressive has over 360 heavy truck employees to help truckers stay on time and on track. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Hello and welcome to That's Absurd. Please elaborate. The 18th most popular science podcast in Tajikistan.
Wait, we used to be number 5.
We were 5 a week ago. We've dropped off. The people in Tajikistan have turned against us.
The 3 listeners we have that are really...
We're down to 2.
I assume it's like grading on a curve. You just have... There's not that many science podcast downloads in Tajikistan. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. If you're a Tajikistani listener, you let us know. You big shout out. And you get the 4th one who stopped listening and you tell them they messed up because they got a shout out this week.
They missed last week.
And they weren't here to hear it. Anyway, this is a science and comedy podcast where we science communicators, the both of us, take questions from listeners, and then we go and we research them, and then we come back and we share, and we learn something, and we make each other and our 3 friends in Tajikistan laugh.
Formerly 4 friends.
Formerly, that 4th one, dead to us. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe 13 other podcasts just had a gangbusters week in Tajikistan and they shot up the charts. I don't know.
I hope for our sake they did.
Well, Trace, I have a question about clownfish that I think is delightful, but we'll get to that later. You're up first. What's your question?
My question comes from Jen, who asked, and you're going to love this, and I took it specifically because I know you're going to love it.
Uh-huh.
Can we change the color of Cherenkov radiation?
Oh, I do love it.
I thought you would. We'll explain what that is in a second. Audience, if you're not aware, that's fine. You don't have to know everything. Neither do we. You know the pretty blue light released by charged particles through a medium like water? What if blue isn't my vibe? What if I want RGB gamer lights in my underwater nuclear reactor? Can we change the wavelength or the medium to make Cherenkov radiation appear red to us? Maybe a nice uranium green.
Ooh, yeah. More thematically appropriate, right? The blue is so inviting.
It is almost as inviting as the blue of our mutually blue shirts today for some reason.
Yes, we listeners wore the same exact shirt, basically, somehow. I don't care how many miles separate us, Trace. We're on the same wavelength.
We're going to see each other this week. We're recording this the week of Open Sauce, so we're going to see each other in like 3 days. I'm very excited. If you're at Open Sauce, say hello.
The day this comes out, we'll be at Open Sauce like the night before. That'll be exciting.
That's true.
You and I will be in the same room.
Literally, we're sharing a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more economical that way.
Do you snore? Do I need earplugs?
I don't, but I talk.
In your sleep?
All the time. Constantly. And if I have a few drinks in me, maybe a little sleepwalking too.
Wow, just a little. What's a light sleepwalk between friends? Also, I tune you out like all the time when you're talking, like on this show. So I feel like I won't wake up at all.
Perfect.
My subconscious is just going to be like, he's just saying some stuff. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
You and my wife both, man. She used to tell me all the time about what I said in my sleep. It's been years. Not anymore. And I asked her, I was like, did I stop? And she's like, no. She just stopped listening to whatever I had to say in my sleep. Apparently, my random mutterances were not important.
I don't know if I'm sad or happy for her. Anyway, there's lots to unpack here, not just from Julian's sleep habits.
and the status of my marriage.
Right. But what about Cherenkov radiation?
Yeah, what about
Or is it Cherenkov radiation? I'm not sure where to put the emphasis on this, these kind of like Asian, Russian, Ukrainian names.
Slavic,
that's the word I was looking for.
That's the one you're looking for.
Still Asian, just not usually what people think
subset.
of, but it is Asia. So for the nuclear uninitiated, I'm going to call it Cherenkov radiation or Cherenkov. I don't know. I might change it every time. It's like a sonic boom for light.
So cool.
I think that's how it's typically described. You usually see it as a faint blue or a like ultra, almost violet-y glow. It's seen in nuclear reactors, which if you don't know how a nuclear reactor works, typical fission reactor has what they call control rods, and I'm saying this knowing that there are a bunch of different designs for these reactors, but I'm describing a very basic, super simplified way to think about it for our purposes. Basically, what happens is you have a giant pool of water, and it's just regular old water. And the reason you have that is because a liquid is quite dense, and it doesn't allow the radiation to escape the pool and harm the humans who are working in the nuclear reactor upstairs from the pool. You can find a great XKCD comic about how close you can get to the actual reactor and reacting happening at the bottom of the pool. But the idea is you have your uranium fuel, and you have rods that go into that to either speed up the reaction or slow it down, depending on how far in you want them to be. It's very, I say simple. I know it's nuclear engineering, which is extremely complicated, but it is quite a simple mechanism. The idea being we're generating heat that will boil water in a steam situation to turn a turbine. It's very much like coal power, natural gas, or any other major way we make power. We're turning turbines. If we take
Almost
one thing
always
away,
a turbine.
it's almost always a turbine, except for solar, where it's basically magic. And I love it. So I'm going to read you from the U.S. Department of Energy site, which is hopefully not yet compromised. Cherenkov radiation happens when electrically charged particles, such as protons or electrons, travel faster than light through a medium. Now I know what you're thinking.
Wait, Trace, nothing can travel faster than light.
Light? It's the fastest thing.
The fastest thing there is. You can't, Trace, that's breaking the rules.
There's rules in this world.
You're going to go to physics jail.
Oh, no. Physics jail would be hard to break out of.
It'd be literally impossible.
They would just put you on the end of a really long fulcrum or something. So that if you move too much,
advanced physics problems,
you're really in
trouble.
You're just on a giant pool table. I only had high school physics.
Yeah, be a long sentence for you.
Remember, the speed of light, as we know, c, is a bit less than about 300 million meters per second, or 186,000 miles per second. So how is it that particles can travel faster than light?
Well, Trace, you said something important in the full sentence. Sometimes when people listen to a sentence, they listen to half or 2/3 of the sentence, and then they go to the comments and they get all mad.
Yeah.
And if you just listen to 3/3 of the sentence.
Oh, 3/3 is the best amount to listen to.
Favorite, when I'm talking in my sleep, I prefer people hear all 3/3 of what I have to say.
Katie listens to 0/3.
She's terrible.
Okay, I'm going to read the sentence again. Here we go.
Okay.
Cherenkov radiation happens when electrically charged particles, we've made it through the first third, such as protons or electrons, great, travel faster than light, oh my God, we're almost done, through a medium.
There it is, 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3. So in a medium of any kind, light slows down.
Right.
Right now, what we measure light as, that 3 times 10 to the 8th or whatever, or 186,000 miles per second for those unit people who just can't change.
It's so big, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. This is not the unit to make fun of the United States for.
It's such a huge number. It's such an unfathomably fast speed.
Yes, it is.
It's important that it's finite, but after that, it's so fast. Come on.
Right. And that is measured through a vacuum, or in more accurately, as we've talked about on the show before, through nothingness. You're not hitting anything because there's nothing there to hit. Whereas through a medium, light actually slows down. It can slow down to 75% of its normal speed when it's traveling through water. I mean, that's pretty slow.
For light,
Yeah, that's pretty slow. And so this allows particles emitted from nuclear reactions to move faster than the light is moving through water. So imagine a jet flying through the air. Julian, calm down. Julian.
Sorry, I perked up. I'm so excited right now.
It's going faster and faster and faster.
Uh-huh.
Easy boy. Eventually, the plane gets so hot that photons build up around the plane and cause a sonic boom.
Basically, yeah, like a light. Okay, are we photon? Right. I think we mixed our metaphors, but I get
did
you.
that on purpose, just to mess with you.
All right. Yeah, sure.
A shock wave propagates away from the aircraft. If you're basically just pushing the air so hard that it builds up around the plane, and that's when you get your sonic boom. Now, imagine that instead of an air, you're doing it at like a particle level. Not like air molecules. We're talking about essentially energy. Cherenkov radiation is like that. The classical physics way of describing it is moving radioactive molecules give off energy. The quantum physics way to describe it is radioactive particles excite molecules in the medium, causing the electrons to increase their charge, and as they release the energy, they emit photons in a pleasant blue color. Mm-hmm. The light is not always visible. Sometimes it can be ultraviolet, can be outside of visible light for us. It was first discovered in 1934 by a Russian physicist, Pavel Cherenkov, and later expanded upon by Ela Frank and Igor Tamm. They won a Nobel Prize for it in 1958, which is pretty cool. But it's not radiation in the way that you're thinking, even though it's called Cherenkov radiation. It's more radiation in the way of like Wi-Fi is radiation and light is radiation. Alpha, beta, bits of atoms, gamma radiation, high energy, electromagnetics. That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about regular old UV and visible spectrum radiation. The radiation that comes out of your phone screen when it's 3 inches from your face. It's the same kind of stuff. And because of that, Jen, I think the answer to this is yes. I think we absolutely can change the color of this because it is just regular spectrum light. And we change the color of that all the time in optics experiments, typically, though, with lasers. So we're going to have to do a little magic here. But generally speaking, we do this to light already. A person who wrote on Quora, who is an expert in this area, George Rush, did write, quote, spontaneous parametric down conversion, or SPDC, typically using BBO experiments, beta barium borate crystals. And we've all seen this as the basis for entanglement experiments like the delayed choice. Of course, didn't define that. That's why you need science communicators. No doubt it can go specifically from visible blue to red. One huge drawback, amongst others, is the success rate is something like 1 out of every 10 to the 12th photons. So it's not super practical. Another way we could potentially do this is difference frequency generation, or DFG. And there are some slightly different flavors of that approach, optical parametric amplification, or OPA, where essentially photons are produced. The frequency is different between the two incoming photons. So the blue light would be a signal beam, and you'd pump the wave to change the color into ultraviolet, for example. I also did find a paper on the latter, the DFG difference frequency generation, in Nature Scientific Reports, where they used a poled lithium niobate crystal pumped with a 1540 nanometer Gaussian beam. All this is a lot of complicated stuff.
Yeah, right? This is wizardry at this point for us.
It does feel like wizardry, but essentially what they're doing is they're pushing the light by pumping it through something that was bending it or making it more, increasing or decreasing the frequencies of it. So they moved near infrared light at 803 nanometers to visible light at 527 nanometers. And red to visible is easier because it's lower energy to higher. You're essentially like pumping it, again, is like increasing the wavelength of it. Mm-hmm. Higher energy, like UV and blue, to lower is tough because you have to take energy away from something that is moving at a significant fraction of the speed of light because it's light. But it's not impossible. The Journal of Optics in 2021 converted a UV to narrowband green, although if I'm inferring correctly, it could be any color with more conversions added into this paper. Basically, light comes in. They use the spectral profile of a wolf's coat, which I actually think is so cool.
What? Yeah, okay.
Because it reflects light to appear white, but it absorbs UV.
Huh.
Yeah. They did this so they could test it, right?
Okay. All right.
So they're going from fast purple to slower blue. I think is about the simplest I can describe it, right? That's pretty darn good. And that's kind of what Jen is asking. You know, when I go from Cherenkov radiation is that blue, violet, ultraviolet. So if you ran it through the system that they built in this Journal of Optics paper in 2021, and you were okay with the fact that you didn't do it particularly efficiently, you could bend a very small amount of this light from that kind of very high, fast purple blue to slower blue or even slower to green. And how they did it is they used CSPBBr3 nanocrystals, cesium, lead, bromium nanocrystals, an ultra-stable halide perovskite photoanode.
Cool.
Yeah.
I kind of know some of those words.
Yeah, I know some of these words. And basically
that's like a type of solar panel, basically.
Yes. Yeah. It's like it's actually quite common in that kind of tech. Mm-hmm. It looks like an optics lab from a film. I think getting into the nitty-gritty of anything, once you add optical physics or optics to your physics, at that point, most of the paper is really math. You're just doing a lot of the math. And all the stuff that they have on the table, the lasers that bounce off all the mirrors and stuff, is either to prove that the math is right or because you're watching a movie and they needed something cool to turn on the table. But long story short, it is the little lasers bouncing around with mirrors and lenses and stuff, and it's shining through a solution of these CSPBr3 nanocrystals. And it's actually pretty interesting, but the general light you're going to see, if you could actually use this on something that was in a pool next to a nuclear reactor and somehow set all this up in order to bend some of that light from blue into green, it's not going to look great. Because in reality, most of the time, this Cherenkov radiation is sort of like aurora borealis. You can't actually even really see it.
Really?
Without a camera. You can see it, but it's quite faint because it's not happening all the time. It's happening in short bursts, and so they can take pictures of it at bursts at like, I can't remember how many zeros, but like 0.0003 seconds. And it can happen a lot with a big nuclear reactor that's going, but it's still like very dim, very on the edge of what we can see. And so you could bend it into green, which would make it pretty neat, but very inefficiently.
Interesting.
Yeah. But with that in mind, let's talk about something else that I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Neon lights.
Okay.
Neon was discovered in 1898. British scientists William Ramsay and Morris W. Travis. Only 12 years later, French engineer George Claude realized if they ran an electric current through the gas, it glowed red. So when you think of a neon light, that like classic reddish orange, cool neon light, that tube is clear, and the thing you're seeing is neon gas glowing.
Right.
But most of the time, when you see any other color, it's argon. It's not actually a neon light, it's an argon light. They actually unveiled the neon light at the Paris Motor Show, which had to have been incredible to see for the first time. And then they also realized that argon glows a grayish blue, so they could have colorful tubes with grayish blue light in them, and they'll glow any color you want. So you could make all these different displays that made all these places, the Moulin Rouge and Vegas and all these places very famous.
But argon, like an argon light just doesn't have the same like sci-fi sound as neon.
Yeah.
Something's so cool about the word neon.
Yeah.
Neon.
So I think the simpler way, Jen, to solve your problem is to just think of the Cherenkov radiation as the argon. Put a big painted cover over it. You can turn it whatever color you want, baby.
Yeah.
And just put it. You don't need you want to change it from red to blue, get a light filter with a little dial and twist it. It's not as fun.
Not as interesting.
But it might work.
Ooh, cool. Sometimes my reactor does glow green now. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Because it's coming through a filter. Or like the light is reacting with some other element, and then that's absorbing the energy and re-emitting it, like the way things phosphoresce, like under black light or something.
Yeah, yes.
Cool.
Exactly. One other cool thing that I have about this, have you heard about astronauts when they close their eyes to sleep and they see flashes? Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have actually.
That is Cherenkov radiation.
Oh my God, it's because it's from like cosmic rays, like high energy particles from space, like passing through the fluid in their eye. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's so cool.
I know. That's half the reason I took this question is to tell you that information.
What?
Because
I had heard of it and I was like, weird. And then uncharacteristically, maybe I was sleepy or something. I didn't look into it, but now it makes perfect sense.
In space, you don't look into it. Cherenkov, look into you.
The universe is getting into your eyeball one way or another.
Into your eyeball.
You cannot shut your eyes to the universe.
So I actually talked to Shuttle and ISS astronaut Katie Coleman, and I asked her, hey, did you see the flashes when you were like, closed your eyes and were sleeping? She's like, oh yeah, but they're not a big deal. And I was like, Katie!
What?
They're not a big deal.
You had a particle traveling at super light speeds in a medium in your eye. And you're like, yeah, whatever.
You saw a sonic boom for light. A lightic boom. Is that a word? I don't know. I just coined it.
Optic boom?
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't tell. I wanted to coin a new word.
Sorry.
Apparently not. There's already a word for that. Makes sense. Makes sense.
A lighty whitey boom boom in your eye.
Yeah, and your body can register it even though it's this like teeny tiny flash of light.
I aspire to be as nonchalant as all shuttle astronauts and astronauts in general appear to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, whatevs.
I feel like I would just be screaming every time I noticed it. I'd just be like, another one!
Listen, a mosquito flew in my ear the other day and the whole neighborhood heard about it. So if I had a super speed particle going through my eye, the whole station's going to know.
I mean, technically you have neutrinos. They're going through your eye all the time.
That I can detect.
Okay. Sure, yeah. If I'm going to be pedantic with everybody else, I got to be pedantic with you too. But anyway, that's it, Jen. I hope that answers your question. I know it's not the most exciting answer, and it is a little bit more complicated than our typical answers. But the answer is, in a simple way, yes, you could, with the optics lab of a physicist, convert a teeny tiny itty bitty teeny itty teeny tiny bitty bit of it to maybe green. Or you could just get a painted box.
Oh, there you go. I part of me wonders if, because like light is tied to the energy, right? The energy of the wave. And so higher energy is, more towards blue or ultraviolet or X-ray. And I wonder if that if that is alterable in some way. Like if the particle going through the medium had a little less energy that it imparted to like what it's moving out of the way, that's causing that to luminesce. If you could do it that way. But I don't know. I'm just wondering out loud. But your way's good too.
I mean, the thing is, no one is going to try to do this specific thing. So when I was looking, I'm mostly looking for people who are trying to change the frequency of the light that they're using. They're going to emit it from a laser. They're going to shine it through a solution. There are lots of papers that does this. Either a solution like the one that I mentioned, the CSPVBr3 nanocrystals with the ultra-stable halide perovskite photoanodes, but that's still like a solution that they have to then shake it up. They literally have to like agitate it, put it in front of the laser, and it can kind of change the frequency of the light as it goes through it. But it's like stealing some of the energy from the light, essentially. Yeah. And you could do that, I imagine, with the right medium of any kind. It's just in this case, that medium is so specialized that it's just this tiny little vial, right? If you had a pool of those solutions and you just surrounded the whole nuclear reactor with that, would that do it?
I don't know. Or if your reactor created less energetic particles, but then would your reactor not be as efficient? These are things I'm just wondering out loud. I don't have an answer for you.
I don't either. This is how the show gets made, though.
This is
how it gets made. I also want to acknowledge that Mason, a repeat asker who we've answered questions from before, asked, would a faster than light plane cause a light boom, like how faster than sound planes cause a sonic boom? And the answer is, Mason, Julian, I think, answered it. He just gestured broadly.
Apparently, yes.
The answer is yes, it probably would.
So long as you're in a medium where you can somehow outpace the slowed down light.
Right. You'd have to have a engineered device that somehow at a macro scale can travel faster than light.
So if you could make a submarine that travels at 225,400,001 meters per second in water.
Let's convert that.
Well, that's obviously rounding for sig figs.
That's roughly 438 million knots. 438 million, give or take 150,000 or so.
The most insane submarine imaginable.
That's a lot of knots. That's a lot of knots.
That's a lot of knots.
Wow.
Then there you go. Yeah, you've got a light boom in your submarine.
You could do it.
Cool.
Wonder what that would look like, though.
Well, Trace, thanks for your question. We're going to come back with mine about clownfish in just a second.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Ever wonder who's out there making the world go round? It's truckers. Who unites baristas with coffee beans? Truckers. Who unites dogs with their favorite chew toy? Truckers. That's why Progressive offers truckers even more protection with Cargo Plus coverage to keep truckers moving right along. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Not yet available in California, New York, and Virginia.
Well, now we're back from that break. I hope that you aren't glowing blue from whatever speed of light thing's happening to you. But here we are with Julian's question.
Perfect joke.
Thank you.
Topical,
right?
Clever.
We're both wearing a blue shirt, as we mentioned earlier.
It's just the Cherenkov radiation. It's a highly radioactive shirt.
In this audio medium that no one can see.
Medium, yeah.
Just trust us. We're wearing the exact same shade of blue. Wow.
It's Cherenkov blue.
Wow. Maybe that'll be the color of the year one
Ooh,
year.
Boy. Anne Hathaway's sweater would look so fetching in Cherenkov blue.
It really would. You teased your question earlier, but I
did.
forgot what you teased. Can
I
you
teased
just
it good.
tell me what it is?
My question comes from Brendan, who asks, how actually symbiotic are clownfish and anemones? For that matter, are symbiotic relationships actually evenly give and take? Because it seems to me more like one side gets more than the other. Like the clownfish is getting like 80%.
Oh, wow.
I liked this because of how sassy Brendan got in the end there. These clownfish, you know?
Seems like these freeloading clownfish.
Clownfish, the anemone's getting 20%. The clownfish getting 80%. Brendan, not cool with that.
As a man who lives in LA, I feel like you've known the clownfish who's mooching 80% of the resources from the apartment or something like that. Like we all got that friend who's like, I'm going to make it, but I don't have any money to pay rent.
Well, oh, right. The person I was living with. I have had clownfish roommates. Some absolute clown. One guy asked me once when we first moved in if I could spot him for rent. And then he went to a gentleman's club. And I can't believe I didn't murder him. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tales from Los Angeles.
Yeah. Anyway, that guy sucks. I hate you, Lorenzo. Okay.
Wow. So. You know what? Burn him. Got it.
Absolute.
Just
that
throw it
guy's
out there.
Absolute
what are we trying to say? What are we trying to save his ego for? He's a jerk.
He's not listening to this anyway. He's not.
I would love it if he is.
Unless he moved
it if he is.
Can you imagine if he was really supportive? Like, oh my God, Julian's got a podcast. That's so sweet. And he's been listening for years.
He is Poochu, one of our top Patreon subscribers.
He's on the Patreon. He's benzethyl dihydro. We actually met Ben once, so I know for a fact it's not him. But anyway.
Yeah. That's very funny.
Okay.
Okay, so, please tell me about these freeloading fish.
Sure. So, first of all, let's talk about when we say symbiosis, that's an umbrella term for a lot of different interactions between individuals of two different species, right? There are subcategories. There's mutualism, which is what we're talking about when we're talking clownfish and anemones. Both organisms benefit. Of course, parasitism, where one organism benefits and the other one is harmed. Think of like lamprey and a host fish that it's like suckered onto. And then there is, of course, the third one, Trace.
Yeah, Lorenzoism.
Lorenzo. No, that's more like parasitism.
Parasitism, yeah.
It is commensalism.
Wow, I didn't know that one. I've heard of mutualism and obviously the middle one, but commensalism. And that's where one organism's getting some benefit, but then the other one, so that doesn't really care one way or another.
And an example of this is a barnacle on a whale.
Oh, even more non-caring, a barnacle on a boat.
Right?
On an inanimate object.
You got to scrape the barnacles off because it'll slow you down. But I guess the whales are like, no big deal. Whatever. And meanwhile, the barnacle's like, wee! And getting to siphon all this food.
Spray my sperms everywhere!
That is what barnacles say, quote unquote.
That's all they do.
Okay, so all of these are, seafaring examples of this. There's a lot of examples of symbiosis in the sea, but of course there are examples on land too, right? We have a mutualistic relationship with like the microbes in our gut. So it's all over the place. Tons of examples of mutualism itself in the ocean. Coral and algae have a mutualistic relationship. Did you know about this? Did you hear about this?
I've heard about it, but I biology is not my forte.
Right. So coral have living within them single-celled algae called zooxanthellae. Ooh. And they live inside the body of the coral. And
honestly,
they
good band name.
Zooxanthellae?
So good.
So good.
Experimental. 4 people. Yeah, 4 people.
They open for fish.
They don't have any instruments. Everything is found. Everything's a bit of found.
Acapella acid jazz.
It's Blue Man Group-esque, I think.
Yes.
But folk, but make it folk.
Yeah, folk Blue Man Group. Okay. Zooxanthellae supply things to the coral like oxygen and nutrients, building blocks of sugars and proteins. And the coral provides protection. Coral are cnidarians. They have stinging little organelles, parts of their cells called nematocysts. So if anything touches the coral, they get like micro harpooned, right? So it benefits everybody. And then if the water gets too hot, the coral expels the zooxanthellae, and then the coral gets bleached white and slowly dies. And that's happening more and more as the oceans are warming up, not to be a huge bummer. But anyway, both sides are benefiting there. One of my favorite examples that I found in this are pistol shrimp and gobies.
Pistol shrimp and gobies.
Have you heard of this mutualistic relationship?
I know the pistol shrimp has the pew claw.
Yeah.
That's all I know about it.
That's
other than
what
Virginia told us in like episode 5 of our show.
That's, I think, the mantis shrimp, but there are similarities. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that sees everything.
Yeah, the mantis shrimp have amazing eyesight, and they also can like move their limbs so fast that they cause cavitation, where like a bubble kind of forms because they move so fast. Like there's a vacuum, and then it collapses and it produces like a shock wave. Well, pistol shrimp can do basically the same thing with their one beefy claw, but unlike mantis shrimps, pistol shrimps have terrible eyesight. So they have formed a symbiotic relationship with some gobies where a pistol shrimp will like dig out a hole. They're regular little excavators, and a goby will find it and go and live inside with them. And so when they're hanging out outside, the two stay in really close contact. In fact, the shrimp rests an antennae on the fish. And the shrimp can't see that well, but the goby's got good eyesight. So the goby will basically be a lookout. And if a predator comes near them, the goby bolts and also releases a chemical signal. And the pistol shrimp is like, oh, time to get out of here. And it leaves. And to me, this is ripe, fertile ground for like a manga adaptation where I imagine them both as like a Wild West duo.
So like Trigun? But with a pistol
basically.
Shrimp?
Yeah, like on the Wild West, but like some fantasy elements. And it's like Gobi and the blind pistolero. And they're like doing a draw at high noon in the town center, but the blind pistol shrimp can't see anything. Wow. He just knows to react when the Gobi takes off.
Honestly, I'd watch it. I'm disappointed in myself, but I would definitely watch it.
The pistol shrimp has like a little poncho. Like I think it's excellent. Okay. If anybody draws that, you let us know.
Please do. We'll put it on our Instagram.
Okay. And finally, you have, of course, the clownfish and the anemone. So what are the benefits for each side here? Do you know about this? I feel like I'm just doing a Johnny Carson impression. Have you heard about this? Do you know about this?
You have to put the envelope on your head. redfin. Like it's just giving it a place to live. The anemone gives the clownfish a place to live, protects it from predators, etc. And the clownfish probably like cleans it or something, or like
that's
yeah.
That's
my
some
guess.
of each
I didn't
side.
actually know what the clownfish does, but I'm pretty sure I'm right at least partially right on the first bit.
Yeah, it seems like on first glance, the clownfish is getting more out of this, right? It does get protection for both the living clownfish itself, and they like to lay their eggs nearby, kind of under the protection, the umbrella of the anemone.
Right.
So also protection for their eggs so they don't get eaten by a barracuda, as we saw in the documentary Finding Nemo. Because anemones, in case you don't know, they also have those nematocyst stinging organelles, right? Yeah, they are related to coral. They're related to jellyfish. They're all cnidarian. And so they have that stinging built-in defense. I actually sent you, because I love these videos, a video of a nematocyst, a bunch of nematocysts firing under a microscope.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and this is from a jellyfish, but the idea is basically the same. But check it out. What does that look like?
Oh, that's so cool. That looks metal. Super metal.
Just thousands of microscopic harpoons getting shot into whatever touches
they look
it, right?
So awful. I would not want that. Thank you.
Yeah. So
just to describe, it sort of looks like you've got this surface, you're looking at it through a microscope. So it's surface, it's semi-transparent, and then all of a sudden, all these spikes pop out, and the spikes are super skinny, like little hairs, but there are thousands of them, and they're like, pew, 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 and it does not look. I would not want any of those spikes to touch me.
Nope. Just getting stabbed with 1,000 little needles.
No, not interested. Thank you.
Not ideal. So other fish stay away, but clownfish don't get stung by these nematocysts. So they can just live amongst the anemone, all happy and safe. And yes, the benefits for the anemone are cleaning. Sometimes clownfish will clean debris that's fallen onto the anemone. When they swim through the anemone, they oxygenate it. They bring fresh water in.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Which is helpful because the anemone also has zooxanthellae living within it. Right? So it's not the only mutualistic relationship happening here.
This is a super poly.
That's
it's a polycule.
I have in my notes. This is like a polycule.
Yeah, this is a polycule. So, oh my God, this changes how I look at Finding Nemo so much.
Oh, you want to talk about
we can come back to this once you're done with your bit if you want.
No, we're on it because I actually exactly wanted to talk about this because there are a lot of liberties taken with Finding Nemo, so our little human brains watching it don't break. Do you know how clownfish societies are organized?
I'm a democracy. Top down. I'm not sure.
So clownfish, they live in groups of depending on how big the anemone is and how many clownfish it can support, 4 to 6 clownfish will live in the anemone, right?
Okay.
There's one female and the rest are all males.
Oh, wow.
And only the biggest male is breeding with the female and laying eggs.
Got it.
And then when the female dies, what happens?
I guess the biggest male doesn't have anybody to breed with anymore.
Yeah, sort of. So then what does he do?
He'd have to go find another female.
No, that's where you're wrong.
He doesn't?
He doesn't. Why look outwardly when he can look inwardly?
Oh.
He becomes a female.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clownfish are sequential hermaphrodites.
I love that for them.
Yeah. And they are all born male, right? And then they eventually transition to female when there's a female needed in the group. And then the female, which is the largest of all the clownfish in this group, she keeps the other fish from turning into a female by constantly stressing them out. She harasses them and it causes them to have cortisol in their system, and the cortisol keeps them from transitioning.
This sounds a little abusive, but also Really cool. So
Isn't that nuts?
interesting.
So-
I say I don't like biology, but it's mostly I don't like reading about it because it just is like everything's got ooze on it. It makes me weirded out. But when you describe it to me, I love it. Every time I'm just like, pine trees do what? They're how many organisms? Fish? They have all this? What's happening?
What? Yeah, it just goes to show there's no like one, like nature's always like this. It's like,
no, there's
a
definitely
lot
not.
of different survival strategies that organisms have developed, in the vast eons of the existence of life on Earth.
Yeah.
And it's not always clean cut, like a binary one thing or the other.
Yeah.
So yeah, clownfish are sequential hermaphrodites. And so if Finding Nemo were more accurate, after Nemo's mom was eaten by the barracuda,
Right.
Marlin should have become Nemo's mom.
Marilyn.
Marilyn.
Marlin becomes Marilyn, and
Marlin
she's
becomes
very
Marilyn.
upset
Yeah,
that Nemo is gone and touched the butt,
right.
which is what they call boat.
She's
if you haven't
like,
seen
you
the
get
film.
back here.
Get
you
back
come
here
back to
right
your
now!
mother.
And then
Right?
all of Nemo's other dads / brothers, depending on how you want to think about it, in the Polycule, are swimming around to make sure, that the water is being distributed through the anemone and that the algae inside the anemone are happy and doing all of that.
While Marilyn goes off to find Nemo, and then they come back, and the biggest male
has become a female.
the new female.
Because Marilyn wasn't there stressing them out, which actually is super accurate to Finding Nemo. Because Marilyn, that's what I'm going to call her from now on, is so stressful.
she's
all
kind
the
of a
time.
downer.
She's really
Or
stressing everybody out.
It's accurate because he didn't transition because he was so stressed out about caring for his son as a single parent all the
What?
time. So maybe it is more accurate after all.
Oh my gosh!
Except what really would have happened was once Nemo had hatched, he would have drifted on the current for
Right.
like a few weeks planktonically before he was like big enough to actually swim on his own. And then he would have found a new anemone because the little societies of clownfish living in anemones, they're not blood related, which makes sense because otherwise you'd have a real inbreeding
you'd have a problem. Yeah. That's how a lot of nature works, though. Is
Yeah.
There's not a lot of parenting in these parts of nature. There is in many mammals and in a lot of other things. The closer you get to us, there's a lot more like what we appear to do.
Yeah.
But that's not the standard across everything. There's a lot of different ways to do it.
A lot of animals that have just like a huge brood of hatchlings all at once, right? There's no parenting there. They're like, good luck. Hopefully
See ya.
some of you make it to adulthood.
Bye, turtles.
It's a numbers game. Exactly. You're like,
There's not a cute dad turtle being like, yeah, dude, cool,
Yeah, bro.
with a little
Yeah,
baby
no.
turtle. Not necessarily. They're just kind of hanging. 10.
Oh my God, that little
hanging
baby
10.
turtle in Finding Nemo saw so many of his siblings get eaten by seagulls.
See, now that's the anime I want to see.
That's so dark.
I want to see the Saving Private Ryan, but for turtles.
the reverse beach
It's
storming
just reverse.
scene
It's
from
reverse D-Day. They're trying to escape the
trying
beach.
to get into the water.
Oh God,
So dark. Okay.
it's so dark. Nature
So-
is metal.
So this made me wonder, like, how do clownfish, when they find an anemone, how do they become immune to the nematocysts? How do they keep from triggering it more accurately? It's not that the nematocysts are firing; they're not triggering it at all. So what's happening here?
Yeah,
Right?
because I'm just too clumsy. If it's not bonking into them, I'm gonna bonk
Yeah.
into them all the time.
I would be like, "Oh, new home, sweet," and then I'd touch it, and then I'd die. Right?
That's it.
So when they find a new anemone to go and live in, and by the way, there's thousands of species of anemone, but only 10 are actually capable of hosting clownfish. There
Right.
are 26 species of clownfish. All of them need to live with an anemone. And it's not like any of those 26 can live with any of the 10 species of anemone. There's certain pairings that work and some don't. So when they find a new anemone after they hatch, they swim into it. They kind of got to like dip their little toesies, their fish toesies in the water kind of thing. They touch it with like a fin or their tail, and they get acclimated to the anemone.
Mhm.
And I had read research, this is from like the 80s, that says like, oh, well, clownfish have a mucus layer that's 2 to 4 times thicker than other fish. So that's it. And that still didn't satisfy me, right? If they had this thicker mucus layer and that was somehow keeping them from getting stung, from triggering the nematocysts, why do they have to acclimate? What's going on here? Well, there's a 2025 study came out recently where scientists at the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology and international collaborators, they discovered that clownfish, or also known as anemone fish, so if you want to find Nemo, it's literally right in the name of the fish, anemone fish have evolved to maintain very low levels of sialic acid.
Oh.
Nailed it. So they have
perfect.
Low levels of sialic acid in that mucus, and that avoids triggering the nematocysts from firing.
Whoa.
So they found previously that sea anemones also lack these sugar compounds in their own mucus, and it's probably to keep them from stinging their cells as they go. You know, if you've ever seen an anemone, they're just waving their little tendrils around in the ocean breeze
like
they
a
don't care.
tube man, like a tube man in front of an oil change place.
Exactly. So they have to keep from stinging themselves, and so they think, oh, maybe they have evolved to have lower levels of these sugar compounds, so when they touch their own tentacles, they don't sting themselves. And the clownfish do something similar. Sialic acid, though, they're present in most other living organisms, and they're inside the internal organs of clownfish at normal levels.
Whoa.
So somehow clownfish are cutting down on this acid in their mucus to keep from getting stung, and that's why they have to like acclimate at first and then start cutting down the specific sialic acid or sugars. So how do they do that, though? How are they cutting back on it?
I mean, they touch the anemone, and then the anemone stings them.
But if they're still producing these sugars, you know, internally at rates comparable to other fish, why is their mucus has less? And it's possible that they make a protein that breaks it down. Another possibility, though, is that there's a bacteria in their mucus.
Oh my God, Julian, is there another in the Polycule?
Another symbiotic mutualistic relationship here between clownfish and bacteria in their mucus, possibly.
Wow.
Right? They haven't definitely concluded that. But yeah, it's possible that this is a four-way interspecies. Well, I don't even know how many species of bacteria it would be.
Right.
That's keeping this whole clownfish anemone relationship possible. So, yeah, there's a lot of mutualism going on here. But to get back to Brendan's point, is it all even give and take? Well, it turns out there are multiple types of mutualistic relationships, just like there are, subcategories of symbiotic relationships. You can have obligate mutualism, where they absolutely need each other. Right? Or one needs the other. You can have facultative mutualism, where, they do better together, but they can survive on their own. Yeah. What's the case here?
It seems like this is obligate.
It's obligate for the clownfish.
Yeah, but maybe not the anemone?
Yes. So when the clownfish hatch and they go and they drift and then they find a new anemone, if they don't find one pretty quickly, their odds of survival are low.
Yeah.
Because they're not very strong swimmers. And
very Nemo-esque.
Yes. Or if the anemone they're living in goes through a bleaching event, right, and the zooxanthellae get expelled and the anemone is dying because it's not getting as many nutrients from this algae that was living in it, you don't see clownfish actually go and try and find another anemone because it's so risky for them to go and venture out of this safe area. Yeah. But the anemone, remember, were living without clownfish at some point there on the ocean floor. And then a clownfish moved in and they're like, oh, cool, I get some benefits.
It's actually cool.
Yeah, with clownfish living in them, they live longer, they tend to be healthier, but they don't necessarily need them to survive. But the clownfish do. So
I'm feeling a lot like how the males of the human species make females of the human species live less long. they're like the anemone doesn't really need you, and it'll live longer and maybe a better life if you're around, but doesn't really want you there all the time necessarily, and will sting you.
If you start acting the fool,
honestly, deserve it.
Bringing all your clownfish buddies around, there's too many of you.
The Polycule.
All your
without asking.
Yeah, without,
Full
filling
consent.
out the Polycule timesheet. I don't know how they work, but I imagine there's some project management involved.
Definitely a project
making
manager
a Polycule
for sure.
work.
Yeah. They got to have a full Airtable Notion system going. Monday.com. None of these are sponsors. I'm just trying to mention all of them since I shouldn't just mention one.
Yeah, if you're trying to plan your Polycule, explore the range of project management tools available to you. Asana.
Yeah,
Jira.
think about it. Jira. You can open a ticket.
Open it.
Who's gonna
clean the damn bathroom?
Who's gonna clean
Jira
the bathroom
ticket.
today? Who needs to swim through the anemones tendrils? It's getting stanky.
Yeah, somebody's got to clean off the debris.
Marilyn, is it your turn? No.
No, Marilyn is in charge of all the clownfish, and she's
Marilyn's
stressing
the
us
one
all
running the Jira system. Got it. Understood.
Yeah. So Brendan's kind of right. I don't know if I'd ascribe a percentage to it, but I will say for clownfish, they 100% need an anemone to live in. For an anemone, it's a nice to have.
Yeah.
You know? Cool.
They'll do
Glad
better if
here.
you're there.
Yeah. Just look after the place, tidy up, excrete your waste where the zooxanthellae can get it.
Yeah.
And we're good here.
All of this reminds me of a whole thing I did with Joe Hansen and Emily Grassley a few years ago, where I went to San Francisco and I saw the Mission Blue butterfly.
Uh-huh.
The Mission Blue butterfly is a pretty rare butterfly. And I'm sure you know this already, but all butterflies have mutualism. They have to have a specific flower that they work with. And if that flower goes extinct, that butterfly is going to go extinct.
Oh, no.
Maybe not all, but it's most. Again, biology, not my thing. But anyway, the cool part about it is the mutualism happens at their larval stage, if I remember correctly. They produce a sugary honeydew substance. This sounds very familiar, doesn't it? And then ants come and eat the sugary substance out of that the larvae produce. And in turn, the ants protect the larvae from parasitic wasps.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool. And then eventually they grow up and they become these beautiful Mission Blue butterflies.
And the ants are
and
like,
they
there
only
goes
live
our
in this one
child.
place. And yeah, it's so
Slash
cool.
food source.
Slash food source. I mean, there would be more. And as long
So
as the
proud.
flower that they live on continues to live, then this very complex and delicate ecosystem can exist. Mutualism.
Polycules are so beautiful. I mean, nature's so beautiful.
Por qué no los dos? Wow. That's cool. Nature's neat. Tell me more about nature next time.
Okay, we'll do.
But in the meantime, you've reached the end of another episode of That's Absurd. Please elaborate. By the time you hear this, we will, as we said earlier, be at Open Sauce. Come say hello if you are also at Open Sauce. Thanks for listening. This show was created, written, and produced by Julian Huguet.
And by my mutually beneficial partner, Trace Dominguez. This podcast is an episode of mutualism.
It is a little bit.
Look at
Today's
us.
show was produced and edited by the wonderful and the Marilyn of this Polycule, Kyle Sisk.
Man who harasses us to keep us in line.
Actually, I feel like he's so chill. He
He's
doesn't
so
harass us
chill.
at all. I
He's
feel like
so
I'm the
chill.
Marilyn, sadly. I'm always the one being like, guys, what are we doing?
Every posse of clownfish needs a Marilyn, okay? You're our Marilyn.
I apologize for that. This show was associate produced by Sabrina Capello, and our music is thanks to Epidemic Sound.
Thank you to listeners who submitted questions featured in this episode, Brendan and Jen. If you would like to submit a question, look for the form down in our show notes or email us at hello@that'sabsurdshow.com. Visit our website, that'sabsurdshow.com/ask. Call us at 302-TAPE-SHOW. That's TAPESHO. We couldn't do it without you. They make us giggle. They make us learn interesting things that we then get to turn around and share with all of you. Like, you all knew about clownfish already. You all knew about that. Did you know about the zooxanthellae or the bacteria that might be in the clownfish mucus? You didn't. It's more complicated than you thought. And you got to learn that here because of the question
I loved
was
it.
submitted.
I loved it so much.
You can go ahead and do that, even if you think it's pretty simple, and maybe there's more to it that we'll all learn together, and maybe have a little laugh along the way, a little ha-ha.
A little chortle. A titter. Thanks very much to our absurd administrators over on Patreon. If you haven't joined our Patreon, this is the main way the show is supported. You're starting to hear ads on our show. Those are dynamically inserted. We don't get to pick what goes there. Some people get mattresses. Some people get Mountain Dew. Who knows what's going to happen next? But for us, the Patreon is really the place where we get direct support from you. So thank you to our absurd administrators, Adam, Les, Austin, Jonathan, Dan, Sabrina, Balky, formerly known as The Brain, Hannah, Apothecarian, Christina, Atomic Straw, Brian, Shane, Metric Ton of Backhat, Poochu, and Connor.
Yep, we got some bingo winners as well. Adam with a bingo. Jesse R. almost filled out the entire card. Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, Bins went on there's one, two. Okay, there's two here, but it looked like there could be more. He's just missing a couple. Really close for Bins. And Teresa's apparent third bingo card that she started filling out. She's got 2 on there as well. So congrats to you all. Thank you for playing along.
Leave us a review wherever you're listening right now. Those reviews are telling other people that this show is worth their time. We're growing. We're getting ranked in a variety of different countries like
Tajikistan!
What up, Tajikistan?
What up, my Tajikistanis?
We love you, Tajikistan. But also like Belgium. We're consistently ranking in Belgium in the top 60, which I'm sure mostly has to do with Lievenskele. But, you know,
that's
fine.
He and I were messaging about the Belgium-USA football match as well. Yeah, I know. He was asking me, like, you following it? And I was like, no. And then when the World Cup started, I was like, yes!
Yeah.
You're going down, Belgium.
But we've gone down to them before.
Yeah, I'm like,
in this Polycules
clearly
football.
Superior team. It's fine, honestly. Even when we were, like, cheating a little bit. But anyway.
If you want to see clips from the show and share them with your friends and try and get people to watch or listen to this show as well, go to That's Absurd Show on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. You can find full episodes in the YouTube side and, you know, YouTube Shorts and all sorts of other cool stuff that Sabrina makes that commonly just make fun of us. If you want to suggest any questions for the show or do any of these things that we're talking about, all the links are also in our show notes, including joining Nebula. Nebula listeners get ad-free versions of the episodes. They support us and other independent creators, and you can join just by going to go.nebula.tv/absurd show. And if you go there and you join, we get a little bit of support from that as well, just by you listening to the show there. But as we say at the end of every episode,
who's this clownfish?
Hey, we're Zozanthella. This is our big hit, Pistol Shrimp and Goby, from our album, 4-Way Mutualistic Polycule. Cavitation, collapsation, like tonic optical. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Tip your bartender. We know.
Yeah, that's like the point, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're really going for.
The point is it's not very good. It's
aiming.
A commentary. Good art.
We want our Yelp review to be 2.8. Exactly.
Yeah.
If we do
we're
too
trying
good,
to strike that exact balance.
Has to be on Yelp.
Aiming.
It can't
we're
be
tailoring our music
other.
quality based on if we're above or below 2.8.
On Yelp, specifically. You have to get so mad that you go to Yelp.
You know how people Yelp review bands?
Maybe they do.
Are we out of touch? No, it's the children. It must be the children.
The children who are... No, it's the children who are wrong. All right, that's it. You've made it to the end of another episode. Thanks for being here. We will see you next week with more absurd stuff that we talk about.
You can picture a little pistol shrimp in a poncho, right?
Oh, definitely. With
like
a hat on?
Like
It's got a hat.
And then like his very nervous Goby companion who's like, I don't think we should be here, Pistolero.
With the very like wire rim glasses. They're too narrow for it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. He's blind anyway, right? So
No, the Goby. The Goby has to have
the Goby.
glasses.
Yeah, the Goby's
and a
got
mustache.
the little
The Goby has a
West
mustache,
glasses.
not the pistol shrimp. Goby has a big old mustache.
Yeah.
And a
Pistol shrimp.
tiny little bowler cap. A tiny one.
It would fit. Dude, have you looked up a picture of a Goby?
I have. Yeah.
This is perfect.
It is.
Nailed it.
I'm
perfect.
like just drawing in my brain exactly what I would want to see.
Awesome. I'd watch it.
Stop. Stop. Wah, wah, wah. but it's a pistol shrimp.
Then he just misses. He's just firing wildly. Nature gave a pistol to a shrimp and also made it blind. Come on, that's so funny.
It is very funny. Anyone who says that there's a grand plan, I'm just like, guys,
come on.
Guys,
come on.
You haven't seen the anemone polycule pistol shrimp goby situation out there.
The seafloor is insane.
The ocean is crazy. But we love it. You know, in a world of stressed out Marylands, just be a barnacle.
Can we cosplay at some point? Goby and the blind pistolero.
I think we could. That seems like a WonderCon thing. Never been to WonderCon.
It's gonna make no sense to anyone.
It'll like, make sense to one person.
And I guarantee you,
one person who listens to our show will be at one of these places and would be like, Julian Trace? Do I get to be the goby?
Yeah, I'm thinking you're goby.
I would love to be the goby.
I'm closer
I think
to blind between the two of us.
Definitely, though, the pistol shrimp. You would be so good at it. We'd have to 3D print you a giant claw. Like, really big.
And you could wear like a 3-piece suit with like a cravat or whatever. An ascot. Oh, it'd be so good.
It'd be so good.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.